The key to prayer is to find relevant prayers that speak to you and your needs and your particular life situation. So let me choose a few that are somewhat universal and suggest how a person can begin exercising the heart and the emotions through these prayers. I'll choose, the first one will be Moda'ani. This is the first morning prayer that traditionally is said as soon as you wake up. Before you do anything else, the first moment that you're conscious that you're awake, you get into the habit of saying the following: Moda'ani lefanecha, I acknowledge to you for returning my soul to me with compassion. The meaning of the prayer now. I mean, it sounds simple, but if you think about it, it's a very profound prayer. It's essentially stating and acknowledging your mission statement. You know, business, without a mission statement, can't go anywhere. So if someone said to you, what is your mission statement in business? And they say to you, well, I don't really have one, or it's very long, it'll take a few months for me to explain it to you, or I have several options, it's ludicrous. You'll laugh at them, you won't even want to be involved. So now if someone asks you, what's your personal mission statement in life? That's exactly what you usually get the answer. The answer is usually, I don't have one, maybe I'll make one when I get retired, maybe I'll develop one when I retire, I have several options, or if you have a few years, I'll explain it to you. What's the difference? Why in business can we not tolerate no mission statement? Because in business, there's a thing called accountability. If you don't have a mission, you're not going to be efficient, you're not going to use resources efficiently, and you end up going into bankruptcy. You have debtors that are going to come knocking on your door. In your personal life, you're not accountable. So what? So you don't have a mission. But if you were to add up everything you did during this day, make a list of everything you did, you'll come up with like 150 items. I tested it. Like, from the moment you woke, you exercised, showered, breakfast, commuted, coffee break, tea break, coffee break, another tea break, some work, this, that, whatever it is. You read some newspapers, some magazines, watched some television, went out to dinner. You come up with a bunch of like around 150 items. Now try to draw a thread between them. You won't find many that connect to each other. A bunch of fragmented pieces that have no connection to each other. So it doesn't sound like so what? Who cares? But now let it accumulate, day after day. Fragments, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. You now have millions of fragments that we all know human beings abhor fragmentation. We want order in our lives. No wonder that people are depressed or feel at loss within, because they have a bunch of fragments. Moda'ani, this one-line prayer that I'm referring to, essentially sets things straight. And right in the morning you wake up, you set your mission statement. My mission is that my soul has been returned to me. And you set the hub of your life as your soul, not your body. The hub of your life is your spirituality. Everything else you'll do, from tying your shoelaces to commuting to eating, drinking coffee, is all an expression of your soul in this world. And essentially sets the tone. That's the meaning of that prayer. I have no doubt that if a person would say that prayer every morning, and it takes 30 seconds, and would think about this, it'll change your life. But every day, consistently. It's one prayer. Another prayer we'll choose is the Shema. The Shema is probably the most famous Jewish prayer, liturgy. It's said several times a day. It's said in the high point of Yom Kippur. Shema essentially says, Hear, O Israel, God is one. The focus is on that last word, one, oneness. The key search of all human beings is to find unity, order. Scientists look for it in design in the universe and in orderly scientific laws. Business people look for it in patterns. That's what we look for. We look for unity. Even little children, newborn, young children that have not been trained, give them different objects of different shapes, they'll fit them into the appropriate spaces, holes. Why? Because human beings naturally gravitate to a unified world. Scientists have been searching for the unified field theory. Why? There's no reason, by the way, why in science you look for unified laws. Why? Maybe there's a bunch of fragmented laws, but because the human nature gravitates toward unity, gravitates towards symmetry. Beauty, what is beauty? What's the difference between beauty and ugliness? Chaos and organization. The difference is between unity and disunity, between fragmentation and structure. We look for structure, and we are in awe of structure. When we see beautiful structure, you see a beautiful face. What you're really seeing is, the word for echad in Hebrew is harmony within diversity. One color, one shape can be very beautiful, but that's not beauty. Beauty is when you have many colors and many shapes and many different musical notes, and they come together in one beautiful symmetry. We call harmony. Harmony within diversity. So this Shema prayer really is focusing on the most important aspiration in a person's life, is to find some unified place, some place of peace. Look how we feel. How does it feel to grow up in a home as a child that is at war with each other? It's the worst thing for a person, is to come home and parents are fighting. Brothers and sisters are fighting. Why? Why does it bother us? Because we are essentially people of unity. We're searchers of unity. All this is in the Shema prayer. So when a person says that prayer, think about your life. How much fragmentation do you have? How much unity do you have? It's a time to pray for unity, to respect it, to love it, and to aspire for it. That's the meaning of that prayer. And finally, I'll take one final prayer, the one before we go to sleep. There's again one line that says, "B'yadcha avkid ruchi, padisa esikem." It means, in your hands, in your trusting hands, I entrust my spirit. And redeem me. Before most people go to sleep, what they do is usually they fall asleep with the television on, or with a newspaper on their nose, or some other. My suggestion always is, sleep is a very pure place, a very mystical place. Before you go to sleep, say this prayer and think about, again, your spirit. About that your spirit goes to another place. What happens when we go to sleep? So no one really has an understanding of sleep. But one thing for sure happens. Your conscious faculties are not working at their fullest. You may dream, you're definitely breathing, you could be woken up. But bottom line is, what is happening? So the Talmud tells us that what happens is your soul goes back to its wellspring, to refresh itself, to rejuvenate itself. So when you lie down to sleep, when you're ready to go to sleep, if you set your mind to that, unbelievably healing powers can be elicited through sleep. When you respect the spirit, it's not just your body's going to sleep, also your soul is going to its natural place, to come back refreshed for a new day. It's a way of renewing your life, new hope. Try this out. People know this. We go to sleep and you set your mind to wake up a certain moment, you'll wake up exactly that second. How? Nobody knows why. Same thing as if you go to sleep with certain questions, you'll often get answers through sleep. So it's like entering sleep in a pure way, is that final prayer, B'yadcha avkid ruchi, that in your hands I entrust my spirit.